are my friend, love of my life.
The Night Side with Barb DiGiulio continues with special guest host Tony Chapman on Newstalk 1010.
We've got a lot ahead of us tonight. We're going to tell you about how to retire like a king on the purse of a pauper. It's a phenomenal way to stretch your retirement dollars, and you're going to want to be with us later in the show. We're also going to talk to you about if you need to course correct or get a job in a very competitive environment. That's coming up around 8 o'clock. But right now, I'm with Sylvie Sauvage. She's the owner, founder, OscarandMolly.com. And her passion, her crusade in life is to have you have a happy pet, healthy pet. I want you to join the conversation, 416-872-1010. We'll try to take the calls, so jump in, text us at 71010, and we're going to continue this conversation about you are what you eat and how you treat and take care of your pet. I'm going to go to John in Toronto. John, how are you?
Hi. I make my own dog food, and there are three ingredients that raise questions with people. One is mushrooms. The other one is onions or caramelized onions, and the other are peppers, red, orange, yellow, and green peppers. One half of the people say they're poison, the other half they say they're great for them.
Sylvie, what do you think?
Well, I would say that, yes, you're right. There is a lot of controversy on those specific ingredients. What I tend to do is really stick with vegetables that have healing powers, especially for the intestine. Root vegetables like celery, potatoes, things that really help nutrition actually get absorbed into the system. The ingredients you're talking about are controversial. You're right. It can be an issue at times, especially in proportion, like in large portions.
Do you feel that you're doing that because...
Onions are supposed to be healing.
They are, but the dog's stomach is very different from a person's stomach, and so the way that they digest and break down the food can become toxic. So it is different than people.
John, I got to ask you a question now.
Yeah.
Are you a chef in general? Do you like just experimenting with food?
No, when I was younger, way before you were born, I ran 2 hotels.
Yeah.
But now I'm retired, I install alarm systems.
So do you feel you're making this food for your dog for as much taste as health, that you're just trying to, because the dog might like onions or peppers, or because I
make it for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We both eat the same for the main evening meal.
Okay.
That's wonderful, John. I love that. I love that.
That's a great story, John. Thanks for calling, and
all right.
And your dog thanks you as well. So I got someone that's calling. First of all, join the conversation with Sylvie Sauvage, Oscar and Molly. Everything to do about your healthy pet starts with you, I think, is your positioning line, which is a beautiful line. Join the conversation at 416-872-1010 or text us at 71010. I have somebody here that's calling that texted in. Maybe they don't want to, maybe they're intimidated by your conviction, but they're kind of calling a little BS. They're talking about having a cat, feed a typical brand name dried cat food, makes economical sense, and they're going to continue to do it until the cat gets a job and helps supports the family budget. She's happy and healthy, so what is the problem?
Well, I wish my dogs could get a job too. And I think that ultimately we all want to have the best nutrition in our lives and the best options available to us for health. But there are times where I think financially we have to be a little bit more concerned, and it is what it is. If you can't afford to, provide your pet with an organic, fresh diet, then you do what you can. You provide them with the best food that you can get for them. Maybe throw in an egg once in a while. Maybe buy some fats like omegas, or even a can of sardines, some tuna. Do what you can. I mean, we all have to cut corners sometimes, even in our own health. So I can appreciate that.
That's really good advice. I find that you've had me make. Zulu's my dog's name, and so I'm making Zulu's food, and the big joke at home sometimes, because our fridge isn't always well stocked. I mean, we're empty nesters. We're always on the run, and you can go into our fridge sometimes, and the only thing tempting is Zulu's food. I mean, it's organic chicken, a little bit of kale, coconut oil. You now got me. The eggs in the shell. You're saying it's very important to grind up those shells. Why is that?
Well, because of the calcium that's in the shells, because I know Zulu has some teeth issues, and so it's difficult for her to crack a bone. Well, she couldn't, and so how are you getting her calcium? And so that's why I had recommended that you do that.
So she's happy for it. Here's another somebody that texted in, and is peanut butter okay, and how much is too much?
I think it's the same as for you. Really, like, if you're giving your dog a teaspoon of peanut butter for joy and for, a treat of fun, it's kind of like yourself eating a chocolate bar. It's kind of on the same level.
Thankfully, it's a little bit okay because she takes a heart pill, and the only way she'll eat it is if we use the peanut butter as a Trojan horse. Now, here's where you and I have been offside a little bit in the past, where you kind of get a little dog whisperer on me, and you talk about having these fortune tellers and chiropractic and these psychiatrists and psychologists. But you have such conviction, and you're going that a lot of times your dog does send you a signal that they're not right. They're actually communicating to you. They can't send you an email, but they do have a way of talking to you. So what can you advise pet owners to look for? And if they see that, what should they do?
Well, I think we're all our pets' advocates. And so when we know our pets better than anyone. And so you know yourself if your, dog's having a hard time going up the stairs, or, so how many times have you heard this even with your friends where they say, my dog is fine outside, inside, he's having a hard time getting up. That's just their way of surviving in the wild. So what I would recommend is that you pay attention to your pet just by the corner of your eye, even just pay attention to see if they're unhappy in any way or in pain. Do physical assessments where you touch them, you feel for bumps, you feel for pain, because they'll tell you if something hurts. And this is where I do have conviction. If we have options outside of medication, where we go to chiropractors, we go to homeopaths, we get massage, we have Reiki, and these voodoo doctors you talk of, I think our pets also have those options, and they do. They're actually out there, and I'll tell you the miracles that I have seen with pets and chiropractic offers, a homeopath. It's beyond our own healing. They're amazing animals.
So again, we're not going to get to all the calls tonight, but I'm going to ask you sort of from the text bar. There's a fairly consistent theme in terms of, you mentioned the word supplements. And they're saying, what do you mean by supplements? What kind of supplements?
The same type of supplements that you would use for yourself, so everyday vitamins. So we all need minerals and vitamins in our diet because a lot of our food is depleted from those things just in nature. So we need to subsidize those for our pets as well. So, things like vitamin C, A, B, C, D, E, those types of vitamins, and also fats. So you're looking at omega-3, 6, and 9. Those are also depleted. Well, the 6 not so much, but those are depleted supplementation and nutrition. Even water. You have to make sure your dog gets plenty of fresh water. Nutrition is the same for you as it is for your pet.
So I want to thank you so much for coming in tonight. This is Sylvie Sauvage. She runs a company called OscarandMolly.com. Oscar is as it sounds, and Molly, M-O-L-L-I-E.
Yeah.
And can they get the supplements from you? Can they get advice from you?
Yes,
okay, so
absolutely.
I'm going to give you a plug because you're so humble to do it. But this is a lady that walked away, and we're going to talk a little bit later about career pivoting. She walked away from her story is amazing. She walked away from a job that a lot of us would be thrilled to have because she followed her heart. And I certainly, as a pet owner, thank you for it. I know there are listeners tonight. Thank you for it. So please come back and join us again. Sylvie Sauvage, OscarandMolly.com. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Coming up